Welcome to the round 23 fan cams. Fascinating one tonight. Welcome to the round 23 fan cams. Whoops. After the Pies, mate. After the Pies beat us by a point in a thriller. 11 goals, 975 to 10 goals, 1474. What do you say? It's unreal. It is. But we're going to show up like we always do. And we'll chat about it. I'm going to cop it. Oh, we're going to cop it. But I guess that's what makes footy such a great sport. For us, it's terrible and it's devastating. And there's a lot of what if. But it's what makes the game so great. So I totally understand if nobody wants to come on here. I'm going to put the link in the comments for anybody that wants to come and just have a chat and just vent. Please be mindful. We're very emotional right now. So just keep it to a level that we all know that we do here on the channel. Talk about the game on its own. And I think that's the best advice I can give for how this works. But we're gonna sit with that for a while. That's for sure. Stand by for a moment. Pommy.
Fucking the haunted fucking pictures are just falling off the wall. Oh dear, mate. If I could put into words to describe how we're all feeling and make you all feel better, I'd love to take away everyone's pain. If I could, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But I mean, that is a real kick in the short and curlers, isn't it? And to be honest, I can't even say, there's any way out of it. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty much what you've seen for 8-10 rounds. And again, do you know what I mean? We wanted them to learn from the 120 seconds they played last week. And yeah, they didn't, did they?
We saw, so ironic, we saw our worst, we saw our best, an 8-goal quarter. And for much of the season this year, when we've had an 8-goal quarter, we've put teams right back in the game, and the scoreline ends up being a win to us within a kick. And today got found out. You saw the bad habits, the playing on, not taking your chances. We saw them come to fruition. We lose by a point to the Pies. We miss out on finals by 0.6 of a percentage point, by one kick. And it's the ultimate devastation. It is. It's the ultimate devastation. And fair play to Collingwood, eh?
Mate, I mean, they just play with heart and intensity. And unfortunately, our fragile state of mind, if you play with heart and intensity for long enough, you will get opportunities. I mean, it wasn't much dissimilar to last week, was it? I mean, you've got Charlie Curnow, God bless him. Could have gone short to Durden, punts it long. Elliott gets the rebound on that. Durden open kick to Mackay. Do you know what I mean? He messed it up. I mean, you can pick art and individual players if you want, but I mean, this is something that's much deeper than that. I think we've gone on about that for 6 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Like, mentality, it just doesn't get better. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, when you shit yourself under pressure, you shit yourself up even more under pressure. And it's this is something that I'm telling fans. This is my workspace. Your ability to handle pressure doesn't get better by subjecting yourself to pressure unless you have the right tools. And it's blatantly obvious these gentlemen don't have the right tools. They don't have the right people around them, because it's the same continual things. And I mean, we're going to copy it from opposition fans, and so we should. Do you know what I mean? We're loud and we're vocal, and it hurts. My inbox is a darker place than, do you know what I mean, Pluto's arsehole at the moment. I tell you, it's not a good place, but be good to. I mean, 45 years, bro. The first time in 45 years that a team has been in the 8 for 8 rounds. I mean, for all rounds. Let that sink in. Just let that sink in. 45 years. That's as rare as rocking horse shit. When was the last time we saw a rocking horse shit? Just happens to us all the fucking time, Terry. All the time. It's always us. We're always the meme. We're always the laughing stock. We put so much fucking effort in as a fan base. And I mean, from high level to what you do to, you know, dudes just starting out in the podcast world, Webby and Co and stuff. The fans give so fucking much to this club, man. So much to this club. And it's the basic things between the ears. And it's all right, people saying this is a new thing. This psychiatry in sport has been around since fucking Jack Nicklaus in the 60s, man. 60s, bro. 60s. And it's okay. You can say fucking you're proud of them and stuff. And that's fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Bully. Well done. Do you know what I mean? But well done's get you nowhere in life when the results aren't there. When the results aren't there. And mate, they've let this slip, man. And we're going to be a meme. And we're going to be a fucking joke to people. And fair enough, man. Because
So we should.
8-2 to this. And the last 2 weeks, bro, they've had it in their hands with a minute 30 to go. A minute 30 to go. And it's borderline banter, isn't it? It's borderline banter. I mean, I don't even know, actually. Someone asked me earlier, would you take the piss out of Carlton if you were someone else? And I was like, to be honest, I never took the piss when the Pies lost in the granny to Sheed. I just didn't see the need. I felt that pain is enough. I don't think I could even laugh at us anymore because fuck me, man. What can you say?
Yeah, it's really difficult to navigate through and stay composed.
Like I know you get the do-gooders on the net and saying, just remember the players are hurting. I think it was Nick Graham or someone say that, and I'm like, how fucking dare you, mate? How dare you? Of course we know the players are hating. Of course we know they're hurting. I fucking hope they are. I mean, I hope they are. I hope they're hurting, but fucking what about this fan base, man? What about this fan base? I mean, it was the same people as well in that fourth, and that's what breaks me. It's the same people. It's the same people. Do you know what I mean? And that's what kills you. Even my boy Charlie, do you know what I mean? He's done it for the last 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Just take the 30 seconds, kid.
Why did he play on? Why did he play on? Why? Why did he play on? Why? It's the bad habits, mate. Why did he play on?
And unfortunately, that seems to be quite I wouldn't say a mental health thing. That's probably not fair, but it seems to be quite a common thing in Australia. I see it in professional lives that people just think it gets better. And there's no evidence that anything gets better. Do you know what I mean? It gets worse. If you train the wrong things, you will get worse. Do you know what I mean? It's why, say, golf, for example, is the most practiced sport in the world. But on average, people are dog shit at it because you can practice and get worse. And unfortunately, I mean, that's the case. You saw the doggies. I had that in the small bit. You saw their experience come to light. That game was pressure. And you saw the game come to light. And unfortunately, would we have made finals and gone on to win it? I don't think that matters. I really don't. I think it's the significance of finals to this group. And if you go back to the very first press conference that Stephen Silvani had when he came in to do the rebuild, finals was the agenda. Finals was the first stage of the hill. And this is another year. And a lot of them people that are drafted, that's another year into them. Do you know what I mean? A lot of these players are in their prime. And you know what? It's going to hurt. But I wouldn't want to be Voss. I wouldn't want to be Voss. Can you imagine what he's got to do? Because, do you know what I mean? That they're going to be as flat as a tack. You think 2018 was bad? Imagine a lot of these players, I imagine, will be able to ping back every fucking mistake they have made since the bye. And do you know what I mean? That's poor. That's poor. And you see, I don't want to talk about Collingwood too much, but you see the remarkable transition in their game inside the same time that we had. Do you know what I mean? And it's just the way their list is formulated. You know what I mean? The way their list is formulated. And you see the gulf. You see the gulf. They never looked phased. And you could see us looking phased at the start, and particularly in the fourth, what was it, 6 behinds?
Yeah. One thing I noticed very clearly in the first half and kind of got me jittery, because I was very confident we were going to win the game. Maybe in the end, I was probably more manifesting it than what I was sure. But the Pies' ability to just get that little handball out in space when the pressure was on. I mean, they've played in grand finals, a lot of those guys. You know, I have images of Maynard just making the right play at the right time, and they had this synergy about them, and we didn't quite have that until the second half when we finally released something mentally. I'm not sure what was said at halftime. It was obviously a great response in the third quarter, but you sit there wondering, what do we got to do to get that type of intensity from the start of the game, you know?
They weren't switched on from the first bounce, and you could tell it took them a while to get into it. Very fortunate that Pies couldn't kick.
It's the worst part there.
But then again, why is my question? Do you know what I mean? Why? And why did they get to that stage? But I mean, you look at it as well, and you think in that fourth quarter, who really stood up? Williams looked good. McGovern looked good.
Yeah.
And they haven't been Carltonized yet, because luckily both of them have got a permanent sick note. You know what I mean? So they haven't been Carltonized yet. But you see the different thing, like Chera. Do you know what I mean? He didn't look like he was shit scared at the time. But do you know what I mean? Then again, I'm asking myself, where's this Chera been for the last 6-8 weeks? Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, and I fucking nailed it there from Sasha, one good quarter. Do you know what I mean? It was one good quarter again. One good quarter. And that's going back to the Teague days, isn't it? That one good quarter that we all clung on to. This is high-level professional football. And you know what? I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. But for me, my personal thing is, if you're going into this with loads of positives, these boys have had a lot of positives their entire time. There was a lot of positives when they won 2 games in 2018. You know what I mean? There's a time where you can't be positive. And anyone who's a dad, a mum, a teacher, a mentor will tell you can't keep fucking hugging things. Eventually there comes a point where you have to face the facts, and simply, mentally, we're not good enough. Structurally, we're not good enough. Coach-wise, we're not good enough. And that is the problem. Do you know what I mean? We always have a next year. That's the wonderful thing about the Gregorian calendar that the Romans invented. There is always next year. Thank Christ that we oscillate the sun. At the end of the day, though, what do you need to do to get next year? And I mean, I'm sure we'll discuss that at fucking length, won't we? At length, because now we've got September off again. And just once, Terry, just once, I don't ask for much. Just fucking once, I want to be able to pay my fans back. Just want to be able to pay you back with some fucking happiness in fucking September. That is all I want. I'm sick of finding positives and fucking hugging each other and holding our hands through mediocrity. Mediocrity. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got Daniel here, we're still building. Rebuilds don't take 6-7 years. I mean, Collingwood declared a rebuild 2 years ago and fucking traded out Adam Treloar. That's a rebuild. You know what I mean? There's a bigger review. How many reviews do you fucking want? Like, what are we reviewing anymore? Do you know what I mean? My question is, how far do you want to go back? You know what I mean? Let's just fucking be honest. I don't understand what happens to the players. If the players hear this, if this upsets your feeling, it's time to retire. You're just not good enough. Some of you are simply not good enough. Some of you simply don't have it here. Have it here. And that's okay. Not everyone does. I work with thousands of people that mentally shit themselves when it's a little bit of pressure. But that's why I have good people around them. Do you know what I mean? So they don't. They have good influences. But how many years do you want to rebuild? Like, what is it? Science Foundation of America have $1 billion if you can invent perpetual motion, which is something that keeps on going with only one energy source. Carlton's rebuild is perpetual motion. The club is sat on $1 billion fucking dollars here. If they ring the Institute of Science, we rebuilt it 7 years ago and it just keeps fucking happening.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. But Do you know what I mean? If you break it down to its core facts, the review. Doc, turnover kick. Durden, no awareness. Doc did it again when Cottrell led to him and he boomed it inside 50. Charlie doesn't realise you've got 30 fucking seconds. Someone needs to fucking tell him. Do you know what I mean? It's them little things. And when you break it down, the great clubs have that. And that is something that we have to, as soon as possible, address. Because, do you know what I mean? In this off-season, and if we don't in this off-season, you've got to look at it.
Yeah. Mate, we will certainly recap the season at a later date. This is not the end of seeing you here, but thanks so much for you. Thank you for the watch-alongs. And I'll keep thanking you hereafter. You've been sensational, and it's a tough way to end the regular season and a tough way to end the watch-alongs, but you've done a really remarkable job. So good on you, mate.
Do you know what I mean? Can I just say a huge shout out to everyone in the watch along from round one to now? Everyone keeps asking, "Oh, Pom, do you miss the games?" And honestly, no, I don't. Because honestly, there's nowhere I would rather win, lose, or draw than with this great community. Like, at the end of the day, our club could be dog shit, our club could be great, but what makes a club really great is the people around it and all you fans. Do you know what I mean? I fucking love you all to pieces. And you don't realise some of the stuff I go through. Not many people know what I've gone through in the last 2 years. A lot of you have actually brought me out of some of the darkest fucking places. Do you know what I mean? When I've been alone at nighttime and thinking dark thoughts, some of you dickheads have sent me some texts, some memes, some banter, and it's changed my life. So honestly, we'll be back. I love you all. Have a cry. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to drink tea until I piss myself to death.
Good on you, mate. We'll see you soon. Ugur with an unbelievable donation. $320. Wow. Thank you, mate. I left at 3/4 time, devastated when I got home. Yep. I think a lot of us are feeling the same thing. Let's move on. Faz.
Harry, I won't ask how you're going. Yeah, for me, I felt like it manifested in the way that, all week, our slogan and all that was, it's written in the stars, it's bound to happen. We're going to beat the Pies. But you know what? In some sick, twisted way, what happened was bound to happen. This was indicative of our entire season, losing a key player early, before the game even starts, getting out to a lead. And we talk about all those games, the Hawthorn game, the Port Adelaide game, where we held on. And this, I can't, escape my head. There's something in me that knew we were going to lose it. There was just something there when McCreary kicked that goal. I'm like, well, we can't win this game. I just felt it. I'm like, the universe is telling us that this is never going to happen. My old man was crying. I was crying. It was just like, what the hell? So that's the first part. And then the next negative part of my mindset is thinking Charlie Curnow was meant to be built for finals. That's what I kept getting told. Charlie Curnow built for finals. Mate, he's kicked 3 goals, 9 in the last 2 games. And I'm not talking about, hard misses. I'm talking about that snap from 25 out, not making the distance. I'm talking playing on and bellying the ball. If you're built for finals, get us to finals, mate. And that's probably harsh on him, and I'm sure people come after me, but Harry and Charlie have been unreliable when we needed them most. And I know Charlie's won the Coleman, and that's fantastic, but they've been unreliable when we needed them most. And to me, that hurts.
It's a harsh reality, isn't it? It's a harsh reality.
The next, honestly, the next 6 to 12 months are going to be tough. I posted a tweet before. Doesn't matter if we beat Richmond round 1. Doesn't matter if we go 5-0. It doesn't matter what we do in May and April and June and all that next year. None of it matters. Next year's going to be shit until we play finals. Nothing is going to matter, because even if we are 10-4 or 10-2, we're always going to think back to, oh, geez, we could blow this because we've done it. So we've blown it. And no matter how good next year is, we're going to, we'll always be thinking we could blow this. Until we get there, every meme, every opposition supporter, everyone, this is not going to go away in round 1. This is going to go away in round 23 next year. 12 months, guys. We've got 12 months of this shit canning that's going to happen until we play finals.
Yeah, and this is the standard now. The pressure and next year the pressure will only magnify.
It's going to be huge. This was a free hit this year. It was a free hit this year. Next year, good night. And you think the boys can't play under pressure now? You wait till next year. There's something stinky about this football club, and I don't like it. Okay.
Going to get a lot more primetime slots as well. Going to be playing better teams. Going to have a tougher draw.
Yep.
And the expectation is going to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Anyway, I'll let you go, Terry. But thanks so much for all everything you've done, as per usual. And don't be a stranger. And hopefully we get a few things off during the off season.
For sure. Thanks, brother.
No worries. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Dom Pang from Osaka.
Cheers, how are you, mate?
You don't laugh. If you don't laugh, you cry. I think I'm going to do a bit of both tonight.
I tell you what, I started watching the game late. I had to work today, and I was just sitting in a dark room watching the game. You know, I was probably about 2.5 quarters behind, and I got to like halfway through the third quarter, and I'm like, I cannot handle this. I cannot handle not knowing. And like my heart rate was just going insane. And yeah, obviously like the messages started coming and I found out. So I struggled to watch the end of the game. But I think, you know, Pommy summed it up by saying, you know, bad habits and the little things. And I think it's a culmination of that over time. And, you know, like you can look back and like when we were winning, like, you know, it was 8-2 and Bossy said like, oh, percentage doesn't matter. And, you know, oh, like some of the things that we were getting called out on doesn't matter. Well, actually they do matter. And they do matter, you know, because at like the highest echelon of the sport, you know, it's the very finest margins and the way how you manage them that counts. You know, that's what professional sport is. It's like fractions. So like, again, you know, Pommy pointed out, like, do you think that Geelong would prepare themselves this way and allow the kind of culture that we have where sloppy is kind of okay? You know, if we get a win, yeah, it's still kind of okay. No, you have to breed that out of the club. You know, the culture exists for a long time, you know, unless you willfully and actively try and change it. And that's what it seems like we haven't done. We've got the obvious talent. You know, we've got a great list. There's still, you know, a few holes, but we've got a great list. But I tell you what, you know, around the edges, we were not good enough in the end. And, you know, and that is from the coach down. You know, maybe that's too negative, but I just feel like if we want to get to the spot where we all want to get to, we just can't accept this mediocrity anymore. And, you know, I don't know how we manage it in dialogue, you know, to keep positive, but at the same time, there has to be like this steely resolve underneath what we say and how we set ourselves to approach the task at hand.
Correct.
To get ourselves across the line.
Yeah, it's fractions, mate. Talk about fractions. In 23 rounds, we're one kick away from playing finals football. One more goal. That's crazy.
But we were 11 seconds away the game before.
Yep.
And we didn't do it, you know, and it's up to us to do it, you know. And like, I think the Adelaide game is a really good example of us. Sorry, let me get rid of this. Of us just thinking it's going to come to us, and we weren't ready. And you know, if we had been ready, you know, we should have easily beaten that team. But we weren't ready. Somehow, in the culture, we let ourselves convince ourselves that we were just going to walk out there and get the win. But no, it's not how it works. And it's not how it works until the very final moment of the game. And like, this is the most extreme example that you could ever get. And like, in the opposite, think about Manchester City when they won that title for the Premier League in the very, very last minute of the Premier League that season. And that shows, you know, you don't give up and you can't finish until it's over. And for us, you know, somewhere we're allowed this kind of culture to permeate. And yeah, 97% or 8%, well, it's shown it's not good enough. So how do we change that from now on? You know, as a group, as a club, how, you know, as fans, how do we get that message to the club rather than, you know, just tearing them down and saying, oh, you're shit, you know, like, oh, you know, we need to be part of the process to go, okay, we're going to find like that steely resolve and change that culture. So, you know, we are the most professional with our winning, you know, and that comes also from the coach saying, well, actually percentage does matter because ironically, that's what happened. It mattered by 0.2% in the end, didn't it?
Yeah. Dom.
Well, you know, and I'll echo what Faz and Tommy have said. I mean, it's been a great journey again this season, like watching all of the content, and you guys have done a great job. But fuck, I hope next season we're talking differently at this point in the season. And, you know, like there's an opportunity for us to become ruthless and cutthroat and, you know, like you never, ever take your foot off the throat. That's the thing, you know, like we'd always give the teams a chance.
Yeah.
No matter how far ahead we were, like the Port game or the Hawks game, we always, you know, it was giving them a chance. And like, there's got to be something in the psychology of the players where they are thinking, okay, we're 6 goals up. Well, actually, we want to be 12 goals up and we're going to fucking grind this team into the ground and we're going to keep going. And even when it's like the 25th minute of the fourth quarter and we're fucking 15 goals up, we're still doing it, you know, because that helps to prepare for us winning these close games, you know, where we're relentless and we, you know, we don't give up. But I mean, I haven't seen the last 2 minutes. I just couldn't bear to watch it just now. But I hear there were plenty of blunders again, right?
Yeah. It's true. Dom, that was a great take. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. See ya.
Bye, mate. See ya. Gox with the 15 says, devastating having to endure that again. Having to endure these losses hurt. When is it going to end? How many more learning experiences? Ain't that the truth, mate? Ain't that the truth? How much more? We're not asking for a flag, just asking for finals, mate. Jad. Can't hear you, mate. Sort it out. Chris.
How you going, mate?
I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm going okay too. I think today was really a summation of our season, wasn't it? Really, good in patches. Good for that third quarter was fantastic, but again, I think it's just the mentality. I think it's been grinded into us for 5 years. You know, I think people don't realize how bad it was, and like for 5 years, how bad it is that it's still haunting the players. You can see it. They just don't believe in themselves. They don't believe in. They don't believe that they can really go out there and take the game from the opposition sometimes, and you saw it today. Just you can see that they have more talent, but it's just you can see it's mindset. It's wanting to take it, not waiting for it to come to you.
Do they maybe believe in themselves a little too much?
I think
without having proven it.
Maybe. I think maybe it could look like that on the ground, but I think I can see it in the players. When you've been down for so long, it's really hard to change that habit, man. It really is hard. And I know it's a ruthless sport and it's not good enough. And in fact, it wasn't good enough, man. We had to win that game. There's no
Yeah.
excuses. You got to win. It's that simple. But the truth is, the good thing about it, we know what it is. It's their mentality, and they have to improve it. There's no if, buts, or maybes. They have to improve. It's not good enough.
It's not good enough. It's not. Had obviously a pretty solid enough preseason to show some steps this year. They're going to have to emulate that, do it again, and then some. Bit of work to do on the psychological side of things. I don't know what the answer to that is. That's just not something that we can figure out in this moment right now. But
I think you can really see how they almost freeze. They freeze, and it's just. I think it's common sometimes in people, like it's you got to learn how to handle that pressure. I think it's not something that you can actually become better at. But these boys, they just don't have it at the moment. It's that simple. They just don't have it, and we can build into that, but that doesn't help us now. That's next year. But that's the sad reality of the game. That it's brutal. The game's brutal, man. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. Simple.
yeah, and it needs to be that way. There needs to. I think that the conversations need to be a little bit more brutal.
Exactly. Got to be honest, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point. What's the point BSing? It annoys me. This club is just so much about spin sometimes, and it's just like, dude, just be honest, man. Just be honest. Be accurate with what you want. If you want to play finals, don't wait till the last 2 weeks to say it. Say it from round 10 when we're 8-2. We're like, oh, we're going for the top 4 now. Why not? Why not say it? Why not say that we can do this? It's always just like, oh, we're just hiding from the pressure. We're not going to put the pressure on us. Let's put the pressure on ourselves. It's a big football club, man. You can't hide from the pressure of Carlton. You play for the Carlton Football Club, man. It's not North Melbourne. There's 90,000 people there, on the edge of their seat, praying that you win. And it's the same shit again. It's not good enough, man. Like, we deserve better than this. This isn't. It's just the same old shit that just keeps coming out, and it's just tiring. I wasn't even that upset during the game because I could feel it coming. You just knew that there was just going to be one little thing. They missed the chances early in the fourth quarter, and then it was just, you could just see it. They're just waltzing through the middle of the ground, and it's just same old things up again and again. It's the same shit. And Voss has got a big job in his hands to go, man. We got to get rid of these habits, man. If we are not going to go anywhere without getting rid of these shocking habits and that decision making. My God, we are the worst decision makers in the AFL, mate. It is awful. Some of the decision making from our football players, defensively and offensively, is shocking. Flat out shocking. I don't know what the hell they need to do there. I don't know if it's like they're confused with the old brand and the new brand or whatever the hell's going on, but they need to start getting on bloody page about what they want to do offensively and defensively. Because sometimes they just waltz off, someone, Wiedering might come forward, punch the ball, no one takes his man, dude's out the back. It happens all the time, man. It's the same crap over again. They don't read each other's movements. It's like they all just get out there and like, I'm going to play my role today. I'm not going to worry about anyone else. It's like, it's a team game, man. The only way you can win is if you can be the best teammate you can be. It's not about you. It's about the team. And it's too many times, I love Cripps, but sometimes, what he gets like? He tries to do it all himself. It's like this team has got to change its mentality from I'm going to do it to I want my teammates to do it. You have to become a better teammate. That's the only way you're going to win, man. It's an 18-man game. It's not a 6-man game. It's not basketball. There's 18 players on the field. You've got to trust your teammates with everything. And if you don't, you're not going to win. And that's what happened today. They didn't trust each other enough. And you saw Collingwood, they had that complete faith in each other that they were going to win. And that's the difference, man.
That's a good point. Mate, It's been a pleasure having you on. Thanks for that.
No, thank you for the year, Terry, and I'm pretty sure next year will be a bit better. I know it's hard today, and it all sucks, but the sun will shine tomorrow, and there will be another game sooner than we'll remember.
Spot on. Good on you, mate. Cheers.
Cheers.
Giuseppe, thank you very much for the 10. I've also got Oliver Lynch. Where are you? With the 20. Impossible to script this, but kudos. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words. Let's move on. We've got a full waiting room. Let's see if Jad, you there?
Hey, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
There you go. Hey, I'm just with some of the boys here. Got Mitch,
Boy.
Liner. Yeah, mate. What do you say, really? Fuck.
We were all
Devastated.
speechless for about half an hour. I went and walked into my room, and I didn't hear a word out the lounge room for about 10 minutes. And,
Silence.
yeah, it was fucking heartbreaking, to be honest.
I had a Collingwood supporter who I hadn't seen or spoken to all game, 3 rows ahead of me at the siren, turn around, look me in the eye, point at me and say, fuck you.
Oh mate. It would have been on.
And you got to cop it because that's the beauty of the game, the banter and the back and forth. And
Jad, go on. You said you'd start.
Yeah, mate.
You said you'd start.
It's their
Jad-
first time, so I'll start it, mate. Fuck.
you saw this coming, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, I'll send you my bank details after.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were able to make some money off the pie
mate.
tonight.
It's fucked. It's just, what I was going to say is, I'm just going to wonder if this is going to make them or if it's going to break them.
100% with you on that. I don't know.
The part of me thinks it's going to make them because they're still so young.
Yep.
But I just look at our leaders, Cripps, Doherty. Mate, they just don't do enough for me. Like Cripper does it by showing. But I still don't think we have that voice on the field. Someone to just instruct and like a Luke Hodge type, someone like that. Because like the dirt, I can't stop thinking about it. The dirt and kick. He had Harry dead on the lead. It would have kicked the point, would have made it. He goes long turnover. It's just the little things, mate. It's just those things. Just it's devastating. I don't know
Okay.
what way they're going to go in.
Well, we need serious therapy for those players mentally. Like,
I need fucking therapy as well because
well, for us.
Going on from what Jad said, so obviously we got Charlie Curnow, Colin medalist, and I thought, what did he get tonight? Was it
2-5?
2-5? He should have at least kicked 4 goals. What, 3? Would that make it? Or 4 goals, 2 or whatever. That snap where he didn't make the distance. That's a soda, and then whatever the other one was, I don't know.
There's another shot there.
Yeah, another shot. Oh, the one first quarter, running in, should have grabbed it and kicked it instead of trying to soccer it out the air.
Lacked it, yeah. Bit of composure.
And at the end of the day, that's the difference. He
Mate.
kicks those 1 goal, 2 goals, as you'd expect a Colin medalist to kick. But mind you, when it came to crunch time in the last quarter, we find a way to crumble and let them back in, and
You could see it, can't you? We're reactive. We're not proactive.
Mate.
You can tell they're just waiting for it to come at us, and then just
Spot on, reactive, 100%. That first half,
shocking.
inability
Disgusting.
to. Did you notice? I mean, Collingwood, every time they possessed the ball, it was instant go, and they knew.
take it on.
It was fearless.
And
We just
we
were
were
chilling
slow.
around. Oh,
Yeah. And hey, you know what maybe the difference was? Once we figured out that the doggies won, we go, righto, we've got to switch on.
Yeah, we've got to go.
And,
I don't think about it.
But at the end of the day, I think the game was ours to win. Massive third quarter. And I've never felt so nervous going to the last quarter. And you know what? Yet again,
100%.
it's a heartbreaker.
Well,
Heartbreak.
no, the thing that frustrates me is the good teams will always find a way to cover their injuries. And when we're missing Kennedy, Hewitt, and Walsh, someone like Dow that is dominating the VFL has to be ready to go. And every time he's had a chance, he's been disappointing.
Yeah, he hasn't been
And
good.
he should have been ready to come in and cover that role, but every time he's given a go, he hasn't been able to perform. And
He's not
I
very,
think-
yeah, but you're not saying it's about Dow.
no, I'm not blaming it on Dow.
No, I
I'm just
get what you
saying,
mean.
yeah, like we're good teams have to have people ready to go and come in and fill that void. And number 3 pick and
Which don't
shows a lot in the VFL, and just every time he has,
dominates every week in the VFL.
every
but
time he's
whenever-
given a go, he just can't.
He can't. He's not up to AFL level. He just makes silly mistakes. And
I think even if Dow was in the team today, I don't know if that would have changed. Because,
No,
I mean,
I'm not saying that. But
no, I know what you mean. I mean,
Walsh
what
was
I'm.
in the team today.
I mean,
Hugh was
Jad.
in the team today.
Jad, you touched on this before. Jad, you've mentioned the league years ago, mate. You've been here for years now. It's our leaders, our senior guys. Who did they learn off? So how can we expect more from them?
It's so disappointing, man. It's because they've learned off, like losers in terms of a football sense. These guys, and how many times do we just need them to stand up, and they don't do it. They just don't do it, and it's a simple mistake. I missed handball, taking on one too many tackles, a dump kick. We need more than this. We need more. They're leaders.
In the second quarter, I think there was a couple inside 50s. I'm not sure who it was. Missed a chest mark. Another one.
hitting it, I think Dr. Soda.
Could have been Fisher. Missed a open mark. Kerno again. I love him. He's the heart and soul. But there's a couple of goals there he should have kicked. He should have at least kicked 2 more today. And at the end of the day, that's going to decide the season for us. And unfortunately,
how does it get better? This is the question.
Well, I think a lot of the
injury
problems that we have are fixable. Those little sloppy skill errors, and I think that can be fixed.
No, mate, we're on the right track. No doubt. There's no doubt. But there's got to be a circuit breaker somewhere. Something has to happen. Bring it from the outside. I don't care. But these leaders, for me, they've shown enough that we cannot. It's going to sound harsh, but we just can't trust them. Cripper, Cripper shows by showing, leads by showing it.
Yeah.
But you need more than that. You need that vocal voice. You can see it all day. Collingwood, they had a millisecond more poise than us in every contest, every exit, every kick in.
Coming out of the back line, going to forward line, Collingwood
Devastated.
All over us. Whereas us, especially in the first half.
How were you there? Oh, sorry, mate. How were you there at the game, Tez? Did you just make a quick exit, get the hell out of there?
Nah, I stood there and I heard one rendition of the song, and I just wanted to make sure to soak it in. I'm always trying to look at things from a high level, and you got to sit there, and they're lifelong memories. You live and you go through life, and you have the ups, you have the downs. That's one of the downs, clearly, but it's quite beautiful how the game plays out. I know for us it's ridiculous because we're devastated, but like the sport trumps all. Doesn't matter who supports who. That the sport doesn't care. It was a magical game. It was a magical game of football. And unfortunately, we're emotionally attached.
Melbourne versus Carlton, and then Carlton versus the Pies. We've both been game of the round for the last 2 games. If that's a positive, it all come down to
I've got a positive for you before we go, Tez.
Yeah, mate.
I think we've got the right leaders off the field at the club to ensure that this makes them instead of breaking them.
Yeah, I think they'll know. I think they'll know what people to put sort of around them.
I reckon Bossy's the one. Bossy's the one.
Yeah,
he'll get us going.
Yeah, boys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I've got all the way from Arizona, my man Adam.
How's it going, Terry? I'm gutted. I'm just. I caught the last 15 minutes of it, and to just see us play this panic football in the last quarter 2 weeks in a row is that hurts. That really hurts.
They're
But
going to have to figure it out.
I got to laugh about it because if I don't bottle it up and tears start running,
Yeah, man. I walked past. I was going to the train on the way home, and I saw a young fella crying with his dad, and I ended up like hugging him, and the three of us were crying. I wasn't crying, but like we were all sort of emotional, and
it's like, when does it end? Just there's a curse. It's got to be a curse. Like the footy gods have to hate us at this point to just torture us back to back rounds.
yeah,
Be so damn close and just not get over the line is horrible.
yeah, man.
But
What time is it there for you right now?
2:30 in the morning.
Love it. Well, it's been awesome to have you around, mate. You've been here for a few years now, and don't expect much less moving forward. Hopefully you stick pat.
Yeah, I think Voss is the guy. I think we have the right guys here. It's just what we do this off season. Who do we bring in, and who do take out of the team, and we'll get it's coming. It is coming eventually. So I believe in this team.
Yeah.
Stay optimistic, Terry.
I'll do my best, mate. Thanks so much.
Have a good one.
You too. Zach.
I don't even know what to think of after that, to be honest. Like, I was watching it at home, and I just sat staring at the TV blankly for about maybe 5-10 minutes, to be honest. I just can't believe it's ended up like this after all we've been through. It's ended up like this.
Yeah, man. So much promise, so much optimism. It's a good point. It's a very good point.
Where do we go from here? That's the thing. Like, after last year, it was worse than this, obviously. But at least we kind of were like, we'll get a new coach in, change a hierarchy. It's all building to something. Now, where do we go? Like, what's the plan? Because
I think we've been talking about this with everyone that comes on for years. We've sorted out the off field. I think we can all look at the off field over the last 12 months and sort of tick that off. I think the on field now needs something, some leadership, some seniority, some people from other clubs potentially who are a little bit older with in terms of age, but they've got the experience just to help guide our leaders, because it's quite evident that our leaders still have some work to do. I think they would admit that as well. So, I guess you have coaches for that, but on field, in the thick of it, in the battle, got to be able to make better decisions. And we've just seen time and time again, we're just unable to do it.
Do you think it's on-field leaders that we're going to have to implement, or because I think as well. I mean, you could say, every year we get new players in and we're going to have to work with the list that we have now, which is partly true. But, I think all the teams that have been successful, Brisbane brought in Hodge, that's just one example. And I'm not saying we're going to have to bring in someone like that. But, yeah, I think with Collingwood, when I was watching the game, I was just feeling like their leaders were going to step up. It's the Collingwood thing to do. The Carlton thing to do isn't really there yet. Sorry. Yeah, the Carlton thing to do isn't really there yet. But yeah, we're going to have to build now, aren't we? We're going to have to really take this as a lesson. I mean, how many times have we said that?
It's true.
Just too many times.
I know, mate.
Yeah.
We've been here a couple of years now. We're all growing up together and experiencing this all together. So, we'll be right at some point.
Yeah.
We've got to feel this tonight. I mean, you got to feel the hurt. You got to feel the devastation. You can't just shy away from it. Got to let it sit. And those players have to sit with it for the entirety of the off season. And in many respects, maybe that's what they need. Just to remind them every time they go back for a set shot to take their time. Every time they mark the ball with a minute left, just to assess the options and make the right decision. And maybe this will be the catalyst for that. But that doesn't make a lot of sense to us right now, does it?
No, we're all emotional. But let's hope those moments they're replaying in the player's head, 12 months' time, if this is the situation again, I think you just got to back these boys in now. We actually had genuine hope this year to make the finals. Last 2 years, it was, there's a mathematical way, or, we win these few games and this team loses, we get in. But, this year there was an actual chance. But, yeah, unfortunately, wasn't to be.
Yeah. Zach, thanks for your contributions this year, mate. We'll see more of you for sure.
See ya.
Rocco.
Hey, how we going?
Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable.
You can't script that. You can't script what just happened today. You can't script what happened last week. I didn't want to come on, but this is when you need everybody, I suppose. Not when the good times, when the bad times. That's when you need everyone to stick together, yeah?
100%.
But I'm telling you, I've been saying that I don't want to, but fuck, man, that around the corner is going to cost us. It's going to cost us. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow. You've been saying it for so long.
I'm telling you, and it cost us at the worst time. It cost us at the worst time, man. This is just dumb. It's dumb, and it's done by Kerno. It's done by the coaches. They're all to blame here. This is fucking dumb. 150 years of kicking drop punts. These cunts want to change it overnight. Are you serious? This Kerno, you cost us the game. You had to just seal the game. Go back and do a drop. You're a forward, for fucking crying out loud. Man, I know you don't blame individuals, but sometimes you do have to look at individuals. Man, we just signed you a 6-year contract, man. I expect you to go back and kick that fucking goal, mate. Like, Jesus Christ, people. You know what I mean? And then you say, like, not you, I'm just saying, like, it's like, maybe the off-field, is the off-field properly? I don't know yet. Because this to me, is the same things are happening again. Like, you think about it, this year, mate, those first 10 weeks, maybe they weren't real, because really when the real shit happened in the last part of the season, we failed. What do we win? 4 out of 11 games or something? And we only beat like West Coast. Who do we fucking beat, man? The boss, as good as he's been, he's also been a fucking banana too, mate. Like, seriously, like, I don't get some of these changes. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Am I just not thinking straight now? I don't know, man. Like, there's just too many mistakes, mate. Like, this should not happen to a side.
Yeah, it's the habits literally came. All the things that we got away with early in the year, came back to bite us.
Yeah,
in the most unbelievable way. Like, you can't script it. You're right.
No one understands the enormity of this now. Like, we've got to deal with people for a while now, for the next couple of weeks, man.
I know.
This is tough, man. I'm telling you, we're all gonna fucking cop this, right? If I say to you we're gonna lose a point to Collingwood and miss out on finals by 0.5%, right? You'd go, no, you could have anything on that, and that would never have happened. And then you go, look, we miss out by 0.5%, and I don't even want to get in after we lose 4 in a row, but we let West Coast kick 8 goals on us. Think about it.
Wow.
And after, like, we smashed them, and, like, little things, man, they're just dumb, man. They're Durden, man. And, I don't even blame Durden. Durden should have been dropped fucking 4 weeks ago, mate. It's not his fault, but it's time to go in the reserves and learn your fucking trade, because he hasn't been good enough. And then again, he showed it at the most important time. He failed. And unfortunately, this is what sport's about. Sport is about moments. And you, under pressure, failed again. You know what I mean? Just like in that last quarter, oh, man, some of those things kicking out on the full, man, like, kick along to the fuck. The only time you want them to kick along to the square, they don't. This is when they don't do it. Like, far out, man. I was heartbroken, man. I sat with Saif, and we just sat there. I'm telling you, it would have been a good 15 minutes. Just I didn't know what to say, man. And then I went outside to meet my daughter. Again, she's bawling her eyes out. Bawling. I can't believe it. Like she was in actual tears because of this. Oh, fuck, man. Now we're going to do this jumper bunch. I'm telling everyone, it's going to be like a different. I reckon we're just going to get together and it's just going to be like 2 hours of this.
Just silence.
Just silence, yeah. Wait, I think someone could be here.
Yeah.
Oh, someone is here. Did you go on?
Are you still on?
Yeah.
Hey.
Stick your head in. Come on.
Paolo, what's going on, mate?
Oh, this live.
Yeah.
We're live.
I've got in my hands how much our season has amounted to. 0.
And that's the other thing, man. Like, seriously, we've achieved nothing this year.
Nothing.
We really haven't. We really haven't. Like, as much as you can say, like, we've improved.
No way, mate.
There you go, mate. We've improved and everything. We haven't, man. We haven't made finals. Fuck.
Yeah.
Because finals was on the agenda last year.
Yes.
And the year before. That's why the changes were made to senior coaches and so on and so forth.
I think the year is definitely a failure.
Has to be now.
I don't think you can view it any other way, to be honest. And if you do view this year as a success, then this cycle will just continue.
Exactly.
Period. There's just no other way to look at it now. And the problem for us is that, and Pommy and I have been huge on this because he works in this space, as he said earlier, is that I look at it now and think the fact that you continually expose yourself to these type of situations doesn't mean you're going to improve.
100%.
In fact, in all probability, you'll probably go the other way.
Well,
seriously,
does it seem like, because last couple of minutes, you think we'd learn from?
Well, how can they not learn in a week from what happened last week?
Learn something. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't learn anything, like they just fell away at the end, like again.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like I look back at those moments in the fourth term and think we had everything go our way perfectly for the first 10 to 15 minutes and had all those shots on goal, and they were just not able to handle the pressure. And you don't want to single them all out, but Doherty had 2 moments in the last quarter where he turned one over and then kicked one out in the full. I mean, like, just the pressure gets to him and he can't handle it. Charlie as well, playing on around the body when he should have taken 30, 40 seconds.
It's going to haunt me, Paul. It's going to haunt me, the play on. It's going to haunt me.
What about the one in the second quarter where he kicked it, didn't go like 2 meters off the ground and it landed in a Collingwood? Look, seriously, bro. I can't emphasize this enough. Drop punt the ball, mate. Just drop punt it, for crying out loud, mate. That's your job.
It's funny, isn't it? Rocco said all year, eventually that's going to come back and cost us.
I didn't want it to be, but I didn't want it to be true. Like, I just said it. Like, I didn't want it to be true.
It's all between the years. This year's all been between the years.
And have we got a good psychologist there or anything?
I think we do. I forget her name, but we need to spend more for all the money we spend on everything else. Go by the world's best sports psychologist. No different to what Richmond did. Let's be honest, because they were doing this for a few years before.
Richmond and they changed their whole mentality.
Yeah.
Richmond were big on that, and it worked for them. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, because we can all play, man. It's that other 5%. And we seem to have failed that 5% now. That 5% is gone, mate. We haven't got that mental edge, to be a killer. And it all started, I'm telling you, that Harry Mackay, mate, that statement burnt me, mate. That statement burnt me, man, that he was satisfied. I'm worried that the team was satisfied. They were satisfied with 2 minutes to go last week, and they were satisfied with a quarter to go this week. They were trying to fucking slow down the game with like 15 minutes to go.
Oh, mate.
How do we get there by playing one way and then think we're going to slow it down, mate? Like, far out.
And then it also comes back now to high performance and strength and conditioning, which has been shambolic this year, really, when you think back and look to it.
When you look back, yeah.
I mean, it's no excuse, but, I think at the end of the day, like, I mean, you need all your departments to be in sync with, you know, not accepting the bullshit that we've had to put up with for, you know, 28 years. I think, like, the way I look at it is that this is the first team in 45 years to be in a final spot for the whole year and miss out on the last game. I honestly think it's a...
But we were that team too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were in 77. I think it's a bigger... Just based on where we are at the moment in our build or whatever it is, I think this year is almost a bigger failure as 2018, honestly.
It is.
Mentally, I think this ruins them. Seriously.
It's a waste. It's a waste of a year.
And
that's the problem.
That's the other thing. Like, you know, like everyone's going, oh, it's a building year, and then next year, well, but there's no guarantees about next year. There is no guarantee. You have to take what's in front of you now, because you don't know. My dad used to always say, do what you can in the morning, because you don't know what's going to happen in the afternoon. Don't waste the morning, you know. And it's the same here. Don't waste this opportunity. Like, oh, it hasn't been a success. You don't know what's going to happen next year. Injuries, mate, you don't know what's going to happen. Everyone else is going to lift 5%. I expect people like Port Adelaide and that to have a better game. It doesn't guarantee you make the fucking finals. Like, how could that not be implanted in their head?
Yeah, I know.
And I'm sure it is. But
yeah.
It's not, I don't know.
It doesn't manifest itself out on the field.
That's
the problem.
And did they... Like, how did you go out today in that first quarter? Like, that first half could have been one of the worst halves I've seen all year.
We were lucky. They didn't put us away.
I know.
Yeah.
How can you not be ready that first quarter? They were just relentless on us, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they had some opportunities go awry as well.
With their kicking, yeah.
You know, then we sort of locked down that transition that hurt us. I mean, looking at the game in isolation, but... you know, I just couldn't believe. Well, no, you know what? I'm not surprised by what happened because of what I'd seen in the last couple of weeks. I expected us at 3/4 time to be like, oh, we're here. It's done. Last week happened.
Yeah.
They've learned what they had to from last week. They've put in place certain things that they had to at training, you hope, and couldn't get it
We
right.
were there at 3/4 time, but
yeah, couldn't get it right.
Sad.
It's a disaster, really.
I don't think I think it's really going to hit us.
Hasn't hit us yet.
Yeah. Tomorrow and the next day, it's really going to hit. And then next week, when we're like not, you know, like we're not going to be talking about finals. We're not going to be in the finals again, you know.
I mean, the funny thing is that we're 7 years into this thing, and we have we're not even in a premiership mold. We're in a mold that's can't even make the 8. So how the hell are we ever going to go to the next level?
That's the thing as well. Like, I was dropping my standards by saying we're not winning the flag this year, and that's okay. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, you set a standard and expectation, but if you don't reach it, don't expect people to give you a pat on the back. You know, I mean, the club made it vehemently clear that finals was the goal this year, and I'm certain that, you know, that was the goal last year too, and it was the goal within, you know, our fan base, and you know, for them not to achieve it, especially the way they failed with regards to not achieving it, it's just I don't know. It's, what do you say? Honestly, I don't see how they come back from something like this unless something drastically changes.
Look, it's a new year next year and all that, and we'll talk about that in the weeks to come, you know. We'll talk about, like, what changes and what we can do and everything, you know. But, you know, like, I think this is going to hurt us, man. This is going to hurt us, man, mentally. Like, that's going to be important mentally. I hope that next year this mentally doesn't come back to bite us again. Like, we're just not good enough.
But it continues too, because it's just the same thing. It's the same thing, and the same things continue to pop up. They can't handle pressure. They can't handle the moment. You know, all the leaders who the young boys look up to continue to fail in these big moments. And how are these young players supposed to learn of leaders who have not been there and done it, and every time they get to these type of situations, just continually fail?
Wow.
And they look up and they say, okay, well, that's what happens. This is how I'm being developed. Like, what happens? You're being taught by, mate, and I've said it all the way, mate, this club, honestly, they're specialists in failure, to quote the great Jose Mourinho. They are specialists in failure, period. Yeah. That's it. You know, and I know we have improved on the field somewhat, but like, well, what's the step up? We've gone from 14th to 9th. Is that what we're celebrating? Is that what the club celebrates? 14th to 9th, bro.
That's it.
14th to 9th is what people are clapping. Come on, like, seriously.
And look,
are we being fair income, or are we having are we
that's
piss taking here? Are we piss taking?
That's a massive fail, considering we picked up a few. I know we've had injuries, but seriously, we picked up some good players. Kerno's having the year of his life, except for the round the corner kicks, and that we should have easily have made these finals. And especially when goalposts change. Halfway through the year, goalposts change, mate. There should have been finals guaranteed. This, man. Top 6, top 4 guaranteed, and you failed again. Far out, Blues, mate. I'm telling you, I don't want to hear any bloody statement this week about, I'm telling you, if they don't come out and just say, mate, this is an absolute failure and we're going to do everything. I want to hear we want to do everything we can now to make sure this never happens again.
Right, and Tim P in the comments, you're deluded. You're actually deluded. I know it's 5 spots. But 14th to 9th, it's right. Is that what we celebrate? That's what I'm asking. We don't celebrate that, man. Seriously, come on.
You can't.
Bro, what are you going to do? Give me a tap on the back? Come on, bro.
You just accept media.
Bro, get real. Anyway. Seriously, get in the real world. And I'm not saying we've got to sack everybody or get rid of everybody. I'm not saying that. I'm saying something has to change within this club to change the mentality that goes from mediocre to next level. And the next level is being
Never accept it. Never accept anything but winning. There used to be a sign up there on Carlton. Where is it? Where did it say?
Finishing second's not good enough.
Not acceptable, whatever it was. That sign should be up there. Finishing second, never good enough. Never. I don't want to hear it. Losers. We're all losers. They're losers. We're losers. Everyone's a loser.
Well, and I cut back to, but I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh that. You know, I did go tell Boss that hero. I'm telling him now, Boss, you got to improve the standards at the club, period. You've got to get better. The last 4 weeks was an abject failure, period. That's it. Doesn't matter who's out on the field. I don't care. I'll say it to his face.
If Voss doesn't go home tonight and says, I've failed, then I'm worried.
Yeah.
And we know Voss isn't like that. Boss has got to go back and say, I failed this year.
And that's okay.
But that's all right, yeah.
If the only way you can get better is if you put your hand up and say it's not good enough and implement things to try to reverse it. But my fear is that it's not going to happen until we all stand up. But anyway.
Boys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining.
I don't know how we're going to do this show, but we'll try.
Appreciate everything you do. We'll see you Tuesday night.
Love you, mate. See ya.
Ciao.
See ya. Original 1551. Today we played like we have all year. We played 1 or 2 quarters, and you cannot win football games if you're absent for 50% of the game. That's very true. Got a few more here. Where are we? Tim P. My last ever donation if I have to listen to this negativity. No worries, mate. You do not have to tune in. Josh, thank you very much for the 31, mate. Appreciate it. All right, let's get moving. Michael.
Hey, I never actually thought I'd be on here, but I just wanted to say I'm very disappointed. I was more disappointed with the Melbourne game, though. It feels weird that we're not in the 8, you know.
It's a tough one to swallow, mate. Very tough one.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe I'm actually meeting you for the first time in like ever. You know, I never actually bothered watching any of the games. That's how nervous I was. Like, I just knew that we weren't going to be there this year. Like, every game I was just nervous as, like, North Melbourne, for example. Just like, you know, the history with North Melbourne. We lose every time against them by like a lot, and we lost last year. And I was just like, are we going to win this game? And then we did, and I was like, yeah, hey, it's an improvement. But then we lost to Adelaide. I'm like, oh, this is 2020 again.
What about tonight, mate? What did you think of the game today?
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. I could not. I knew today was going to be trash. Honestly, I just knew. I was just praying that Hawthorn was going to do good, but when they did, when I want them to do good, they were just terrible. I'm sorry, I'm just a bit nervous right now.
Mate,
Thank you.
No, I feel it. I feel you. I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on. It's courageous to show up tonight, and if this is the first time and you showed up,
thank you.
Yeah, something about you. But,
first time, and I'm also an introvert or whatever. Yeah,
cool.
You know, the West Coast game, I was like really nervous about it because, you know, West Coast, we haven't beat them since 2014. But then I go outside when I find out we win, and I remember this. I gave my mum this like massive hug, and I was like, "Finals, here we come, yay!" And I was like, just because we beat West Coast. Oh boy, was I wrong, man.
Mate, I was guaranteeing a win. I was guaranteeing a win today. I was so certain we would do it. I was sure we would win today. But that's the beauty of sport. Sometimes you get it wrong, you know. But Michael,
you know,
Michael, I appreciate you coming on, my friend. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, mate. I remembered another thing. I remember the West Coast game. Another thing, I watched the fan cams, and Pom was like, "When are we going to respect the team?" You know, and like, and if only he knew, or if only he knew it back then that we weren't going to make the 8. Oh, but I just wanted to say one more thing.
Yes. One more thing. Yeah, one more thing. Go on.
One more thing. I just wanted to say is that we should not be overly negative or overly positive at the same time. It shouldn't be like that, because a lot of the time I notice people like Paolo and like Rocco and all that can be a bit, you know, like this is the end of the football club or whatever sometimes. But we did improve this year. But now it's time to look at next year. And I'm hoping that this team responds in the same way that Essendon did in 1999 and 2000. I'm hoping, please, but it probably won't happen, but I hope it will.
No, well said. Thanks, Michael. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it.
Oh.
Andrew.
Love Michael. How's it going, mate? Oh, I know how you're going. Jeez, what else? That's stupid. Anyway, and just like that, here we are, eh?
I'd rather be here than, to be honest, I'd rather be here than anywhere else. I don't even want to look at anything else. This is the comfort zone, to be honest. After that, I don't want to be.
Yeah. After that game, I have to lie down. I'm actually in the bedroom, on the bed, lying down. But
what did you make of it?
Like many other games, like last week, missed opportunities, isn't it? And just not having that emotional maturity, that emotional intelligence to stick fat right to the end. It's seriously missing. Like Collingwood had it. Melbourne got it, because they prove it every time they get to those situations where it looks like they're going to lose. They find a way. They find it, and we're missing that somehow. I don't know.
It's funny because for all the narrative around Collingwood being in a rebuild, you look at all of their senior players. You know what? It's actually right there in front of us. You look at all their senior players and how they executed under pressure, in the moment, in a contest, the 50-50s, the ones where you're not sure if you're going to win the contest or not. And you watch them execute time after time after time. Maynard, Pendlebury, Crisp, Sidebottom. They might not have had the most amazing stats, but you know that every time they had the ball, more often than not, they were able to make the right decision. You know, Jamie Elliott executing, running into that goal. That's a very tough kick on the run. The pressure zooms in and he executes, you know.
Yeah. And we gave them too much space. We gave them way too much space to move. And that was our biggest mistake in the first half anyway. And then second half, I don't know what happened. You know, obviously Voss, you know, said the right words or said something to them that you know, changed the mindset. But it just unfortunately wasn't enough to bring him home. And
Yeah.
you know, I gotta admit, I was nervous, like everyone, because I knew it. And my wife said, "Oh, are they winning?" I said, "Yes, they're winning." But that's when we're like, you know, we're only like 2 goals, you know, down or up. I mean, and I said, "Yeah, we're 2 goals up, but you know, we still got. I think we had like 7 minutes left of the game or something." I said, "We still got too much time left." And I just, in the bottom of the stomach, you just knew. And
You don't want to believe it.
I had to be right. You don't want it to
No,
be
I
right.
get
I know.
you. I think when Doc kicks the ball and it goes out in the full, I remember that
Yeah,
happening, and that was probably the
yeah,
first time because I was pretty confident we were still going to win the game.
yeah,
And I think when Doc kicked that ball and it went out in the full, I thought, okay, it's
yeah,
starting to come back again. Here it
yeah.
goes. Here it is.
You know what got me worried is Charlie's complacency,
Oh, mate.
mate. That was
Mate.
shocking for him. I was so disappointed for him. I thought, mate, you're better than that. You're
He
way
is
better
better
than
than
that.
that. He's so much
You
better
know,
than that.
but I couldn't believe it. But anyway, I was treated to free to air footy, and this is what I got. So they played it free to air on 7, mate, and I thought awesome. But yeah.
It
Anyway,
is what it is.
it
Mate,
is.
thanks for joining and
We
enjoy
look
your lay
forward
down.
to it. Look forward to the off season because I know, you know, you provide the when we do the trade period and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And, yeah, and all the
We'll
banter
get
that
there
comes with it.
eventually, hey?
Terry, you're a legend, and I appreciate what you do. Without you, mate, we would be lost souls.
I don't know about that, but thanks so
Well,
much,
you know
mate.
what I mean. But it's just good to
No,
have a platform that we can all come together and either celebrate or heal. And
it's,
yeah, we just love what you do, buddy.
thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
You take care.
See ya. Peter V, we just got hoodwinked again. Sure, there's been improvement this season, but anyone that says from being 8-2 to 12 wins and 9th is a success is deluded. Bring on 2023. Make Carlton great again. Thank you very much, Peter. Appreciate that, mate. Reese, new rule for 2023. If Mackay and Kerno don't take their 30 seconds, no matter the result, they get dragged. I feel that. Kira, football is never as good as it looks and never as bad as it seems. It's a very, very wise one there. Jim.
Hey, man. How you going?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, devastated, but, you know, it is what it is. I got a question for you, though. Do you think we have improved, Terry?
Have we improved from last year? Yeah, I think we've improved from
Yeah.
last year. Yes.
Good. Yeah, I also feel the same way, but I agree with Rocco and Paulo.
But is it enough? Is it enough?
It's
not.
It's a failure. It's a
It's not
failure
enough.
this year, man.
Yeah, it's because I just believe. I think you can only believe that something is a failure if you believe that what you currently have is better than what it gave you. And I think our group are a lot better than what they gave us as it's all come to a close. I think we were. I'm wrong, but I thought we were deserving of playing in the finals and really shaking it up and winning a final. I believe we were capable. I was wrong. I was wrong on a lot of things, mate. But that's the beauty of it all. You know, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're not.
Yeah, that's it. Very well said. I think there's a lot of moments that are going to live in a few lads' heads in the off season. I think Charlie, well done for kicking a bunch of goals this year, amazing, but great comeback, and I'm glad he's fit. But where's the maturity to just take 30? Just take 30, please, and just kick that goal. That's over. Game over. Louis, when he goes back with the flight, you've got to be a bit courageous, man. You have to put your hand up. You just have to belt that ball out. We can't just let players come over, take hangers, not at the depth like that. There's little moments like that. Whereas you look at players like Pendlebury and time just stands still for him. Man, he's got so much time because he's so class, because he moves his body a certain way. He plays to his strengths. We have boys that do not play to their strengths. We have boys who should be playing on the outside that are in the inside, and players that should be on the inside are playing on the outside. And it's apparent because I can't fault Zach Fisher's effort because he's there trying to make 10 smothers today, but put him on the fucking outside. where he can use his sick foot and use his run and get us ground. Put setters in the guts there and let him, dish it out to players like Fisher. That sort of stuff has frustrated me. I'm very positive normally. So, yeah, it's just tricky. I'm devastated. I know so many people who are devastated. So it's pretty. Yeah. It's a hard one to swallow today.
It's tough to just right now, a couple of hours removed from the final siren to try and review the season. It's very tough. We're probably going to take some time to just sit on it for a bit and dwell on it. This has been, without a doubt, the most enjoyable season I've had because of, the amount of wins that we did. And it's something I haven't seen for many years, and a lot of us haven't. But when it comes down to the crux of it, I think people have like a differing view on what success is. And that's okay. We're not always going to agree.
It's absolutely fair.
But, as long as we all sort of, it's tough, mate. What am I going to say? It's tough.
Oh, mate, what can you say? But before I go, thank you to you. Thank you to Pom and Almost Blues, Brothers Boys, Navy Blue Corner, all the podcasts, Prenders as well. I listen to them every week too. Like, you make the weeks bearable. Like, it's a hard club to follow. People don't get it. The other 17 clubs, they say they get it. They don't fucking get it. They don't get it. This club's hard to follow. So thank you for everything you do, man. And you make it, the week go pretty well. So thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, brother. We'll speak to you soon. Mate. Joshua.
Hey Tez, how you going, man?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Oh man, far out. My voice, man. After that, like, I don't know, man. We was this close, man. Like this close. All we had that third quarter, like I was watching that third, and I was like, the first half, like stuff it, but like that third, we were like, it was like a whole nother team. I was like, where was that? The fourth, like, how do we not do anything in the fourth? And then the third, we're dominated. We dominated everything. And it's like, it's happened so many times, like the past 4 games. That Adelaide game, we were nowhere. And it comes back to bite us. Those wins that we missed out, it's bitten us in the back. And season's over. It's like, oh, man, what do you do?
Yeah, I think as time goes on, I don't know what to expect because you never know what to expect, but I kind of expect a bit of anger to seep in because, I mean, you lose 4 in a row at the end of the season. We've lost 4 games in a row. We had 4 opportunities to win 1 game to end a season after all this amazing 8-2 and after the ability to be resilient and play through injuries and do the things that seem like are the things that are putting us in the right direction. And, in a year you win 12 games, you don't make finals. I think the Bombers made finals last year with 11 wins. So it's just one of those seasons. And we lose by 0.6%. So then you go back and you go, one of the 8 goals from West Coast or 2 of them in that, and it's, you go insane.
That's the beauty about footy. But like, man, like this stuff, I tell you what, like 20 years of my life, it's been up and down with all the footy, but like this year was the best like footy to watch. Like you went to every game and it's like we had a chance to win. And that hasn't been, it hasn't been like that ever really in my time, beside like the early days of, Murphy and Judd and stuff. But like, yeah, the season's gone. Far out. I know. I went to a birthday party last night and had about 3 Collingwood guys with me. Man, I said so much crap, man, and it's gotten back to me now.
I sat here, I looked the camera in the eye and guaranteed we'd win. Guaranteed it.
Oh, mate. But they're on to me. They're on to me.
We'll be right. We'll sit on this for a while and it'll hurt for many, many years. But it'll hurt until we rectify it. And I think the boys that came on before made a good point. Until we step over the next step and make the finals, lo and behold, I know we're talking about outcomes. Until we do it, we haven't done it. And we are 7 years removed from the beginning of the journey. So, it's really...
a lot of questions asked.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So, Anyway, mate, you're a star. Thanks for coming on.
No worries. Take care, man.
See you, mate. Joseph. Not there. Is he there? No, he's not there. Shannon.
Of all the fucking clubs, Terry.
Oh,
all
mate.
the fucking teams we had to lose to fucking today, of all the fucking days, the one team I didn't want to fucking lose to was that fucking mob. Trust me, I've ridden the wave today. I've ridden the wave, and I don't like the result because I got thrown off the fucking surfboard. That's how I fucking feel.
It's a memory that the Pies fans will have for the rest of their lives, and they'll enjoy it, and so they should.
Fuck them.
And fuck them. And fuck them. And
fuck
fuck
'em.
us too for getting cocky. Oh, disaster.
That
Disaster.
8-goal third quarter, 6-point fourth quarter. Only Carlton would do that to us. And I said it. I'm like, they're gonna come. Their last quarters are probably their best quarters. They're gonna come. Lo and behold, they came, they saw, they conquered. You can't go past McCreary's goal on the boundary. Like, you got to pay that. That's probably one of their best kicks all day after missing so many shots. But it came back to bite us on the ass. But you're right. Like, 11 wins last year gets us in. And we shouldn't have had to rely on other results to make the finals. We clearly didn't deserve it. As much as it hurts me to say, like, we won 12 games, which is probably more than what we've won in a long time. But it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt for a very long time.
And even if we,
because it's Collingwood.
yeah, of course. I mean, even if we sit here and we had have lost, but still had more percentage to be on top of the Dogs, I don't even know what that would have felt like. That would have been very strange to be playing finals football after 4 losses in a row. And I don't know. I guess it's not the reality we're living in. We're living in a reality where we're not in finals, and we're living in a reality where the Pies fucking do it. It's crazy.
I'm actually so angry at the fact that it's Collingwood. Like, I can't. That's the one thing that get, like, any other team we lose to, we don't make finals. No worries. Collingwood. They're the biggest. Like, I haven't checked my Facebook, but I guarantee you every status is going to say Collingwood in massive capital letters with the elongated O. Like, legit. Fuck Collingwood. Like, they play the Cats next week, I think, and I hope they get their asses fucking kicked. Hope they go out in straight sets. That'll really make me happy.
Yeah. It'll make me happy, but unfortunately they'll have today.
I know.
You know? So
I know. Look, it just means redemption's on the cards next year when we play them.
Can't wait. Shannon, another preseason. Great.
I know. At least we've got something else to look forward to next Thursday night. Hopefully we can beat them there. That'll make me happy.
Fingers crossed. Look forward to having you back for the AFLW show. I really do.
Yeah, Wednesday night. We haven't decided a time yet, but yep, Wednesday night, tune in. I got a new co-host this year, so all will be revealed on Wednesday night.
Love it. Good on you, Shan. Thanks so much.
Up the baggers. See you, Tez.
Baggers. Flag D's, so much similarities to our rebuild in the early days to what you are now. Just lacking on-field leadership in crucial times. You'll get there. Thank you very much, my friend. Yuval.
Hello.
I'm here, mate. How are you? Mediocre.
Just advertising this book once again.
Yep.
But look. If there's a thing about Carlton is we're still in denial. We're still reactive, and I don't know. That's probably it. We're still in denial. We still live in the past, right? We still live in, and I'm an old fuck. I've seen 5 premierships. I've seen 22 years of this shit, right? The other thing, we're in denial, we're reactive, and we're predictable.
Yuval? Jump back in, mate. We'll get you in. Adrian.
Cheers. Thanks for having us on.
No worries, mate. Thanks for being on.
How do you feel?
Aside
from the obvious.
Usually an hour and a half in, gets a little bit better, but it's not getting better, mate.
That's devastating, to be honest, mate. That was grim. That was really grim.
That was
borderline walking out of the MCG, like hoodie over your head down, in tears, almost like a family member died.
Yeah, man.
That was hard to take, man. And I just hope that we can recover from it.
It's going to take some sort of intervention with respect to our headspace. And, because I don't know, maybe I'm deluded in saying the ability is there. I truly believe this team, the one that played today, even without Walsh and Kennedy and Hewitt, I truly believe that they were capable of winning the game today. Maybe I am completely wrong and maybe they're not good enough, but I
completely agree with you. I have a lot of confidence in the team. I do think currently what's separating us from taking that next step are the small things, the little 1%ers, just crucial moments, and I suppose it just wasn't meant to be. But to see it end the way it did, that's just a shit show. It's almost like watching a horror film. It's bad.
As bad as it can possibly be.
And imagine losing to Collingwood. Like, out of all, as that lady before said, out of all mobs, it was them, which is more of a pride thing, as being Carlton supporters. But I think it might take a bit of time to recover, and I don't know if we can. I still believe there's some element of hope. Not sure if we're holding on to something that doesn't exist. But yeah, man, that's depression session tonight, man.
It's real.
It's deep.
It's deep, mate. It's like, yeah, because we all care so much. We all invest so much. It's what makes our club so great. It's what makes Collingwood club so great.
This is the thing. Like, we got to walk around tomorrow, and we got to cop the brunt of it and the shit. I don't know if these players understand that. I know that they feel it, and I get it, but we have to live with that. Like, the next 6 months, we're dealing with this shit. And I know they hurt. Can't say that they don't care, but they get paid to do that.
Correct.
We don't get paid. So, I don't know. It's tough, but the sun still shines tomorrow, doesn't it, Terry?
Sun will shine tomorrow and the next day, and we inch closer to...
Yeah, sorry, go on. No, go on.
I was going to say, we inch closer to fucking round 1, 2023, when we can... Oh, mate, disaster. Oh, my God. Disaster, mate. Absolute fucking disaster.
Well, look, I'll let you be. Thanks for having me on. And
no worries.
Kudos to you, Pom, Paul, all the years you put the effort in. You actually do bring a form of enjoyment to our lives after these games, whether it's win or loss. So good on you. Keep up the work, and it is what it is, mate. Roll with the punches.
100%. Thanks, brother.
See you, mate.
See ya. Gab says, we made progress from prior years, but we still fell short of making the 8. So many opportunities, and we really cooked it. Lots of reflection and significant improvements needed overall next year to cement our spot in the 8. Well said. Thank you very much, mate. There's a few of you in the waiting room, and you seem to have like a really dark screen. So get your lights on, and I'll get you in. Chris.
Hey, Tez, how you doing?
Not good, mate. Not good.
Not good? Yeah. It's been rough.
I'm hiding here in the fan cams where it's safe.
Yeah, well, man, I mean, I don't know. I've always wanted to come on, but I never have. And I was just like, this is the perfect time. I feel like shit. So why not meet up with you guys? But yeah, I was at the game, and like, just, with my brother and like one of my best mates, and it's just built it up all week and got sucked in, and agony, man. Just the Collingwood chant, like walking to the car, all of it. It's just so just agony. I don't know.
Sucked in is a really good way to put it, because I definitely got sucked in. I
got sucked in from the beginning of the season. First game when we won, it was just bang. Oh, look at us, we've changed. Sucked in then. Oh man, like I don't know.
I didn't think we'd lose 4 in a row to end the season. I felt like we would improve in the way that we played against Collingwood last year, because we have tended to do that this year with teams that we've lost to. Number one, like learning from our mistakes. And then number two, I think 6 or 7 players played today that didn't play last time. And I remember that game last time so clearly. But I guess what I didn't take into account is that Collingwood actually got better as the season progressed, and we didn't. We actually regressed.
Got
That's
worse.
the truth.
Yeah, we
didn't
definitely
get better.
did.
We didn't get
Yeah,
better as the
yeah.
season went on, and that's a reality. It's not negative. It's just that's the reality. We did not improve as the season went on.
Yeah, it's like hard to accept. Like I made a bunch of bets. My sister's boyfriend, Collingwood fan. All right, chuck a slab on it. We're gonna smash you guys next time. Oh, I'm a slab now. But yeah, I was just so confident that this was going to be the year we were going to do something. Like it's been a while, man. My days. Let me tell you, but I don't know. You know what I was thinking? Like I don't know if Harry and Charlie synergize that well. Like, what's your opinion on that?
I don't know. They were both flying for a lot of those balls today, weren't they? It's not something.
Yeah, but like, say they're both 8 out of 10s as players. Like, I don't know if they, it's an 8+8 situation, or maybe it's a, say 8+8 equals 18 instead of 16. Like, I think they kind of take away from one another. Like say, Charlie's an 8, Harry's an 8. It's about a 12 that they give us. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love them. I'm not trying to knock them. I just don't know if they can gel. I don't know. Like,
I've got some work to do, I think. I think we've got some more layers to uncover with the list. And I don't know. It's tough because they're Coleman medalists, both of them, back to back.
Yeah,
So,
I know. It's wild when you put it that way, yeah? But like, and then like, I was thinking, like, sort of my brother, like, what's the missing piece? And for me, it's just like, maybe just everyone have a good preseason where we don't have some guy that goes down and shattered his elbow or his, shoulder. You can just come in, like, everyone's just ready to go. Like, I hope that they treat it really seriously after that loss, because like that is the worst. You couldn't write a worse loss for us. Like, Shakespeare could have done it worse. Like, straight up, lose by a point against Collingwood in these conditions. Like, what? 90,000 people, fucking hell, man. Like, just agony, yeah. But yeah, like, I just hope they take the preseason seriously and they just, transform, because they got the talent. These guys are good, I got hope, yeah, but wild. But yeah, man, I know that you've been on for nearly an hour and 40, but I just want to say, like, thank you for everything you do, man. Like, I love just tuning in all the time, and like, you're an absolute legend for this. So, thanks, man.
Fuck yeah. Thanks so much, bro. Appreciate it.
Easy. Take care.
Yeah. Yuval, I can see you in the comments. Please, I think you said your internet shut itself. If you can get back in, would love to finish off our conversation. Mark.
Hey on, Terry.
Struggling, mate.
Yeah, feel you, man. Feel you. I went to sleep last night, and I looked at my dad in the eye, and I said, "It's scary to think that our fate is going to be decided in less than 24 hours." Woke up this morning, I looked at my dad, and I said, "Dad, we're going to war. We got this. We got this." We came out in the first half, and it's like the members and supporters were ready to go to war, but the team wasn't. And that, as a member, that hurt. That hurt, because it's the biggest game in over a decade that we've been a part of, that we've had the privilege and the pleasure of being a part of. And from the get-go, it showed they didn't want it. Come the second half, you see those glimpses. You see those, those moments that are there. The glimpses are there, but it wasn't sustainable for long enough. And I'm like you, Tez, when Doc kicked that ball out on the floor in that last quarter, I looked around and I said, it's happening. It's happening again. And when that final siren went, like my heart dropped. Like I could handle losing a game fully because at the end of the day, it's just a game. But we as members and supporters have been through hell and back with this club, and we will continually do so. We'll continually back this club in. But when is it going to end?
Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. Because there's so much more pressure next year. It doesn't get less of a pressure cooker for us next year. It only increases the external pressure, which, look, the battle is to tune out. For them, it's to tune out the external and focus on what they do. But clearly it seeps in. And it must seep in. It's tough, mate. 88,000 people screaming. Time stops, and it all sort of focuses in on the moment, and it's difficult. It's difficult for everyone.
No, definitely. And I even saw, Silvani's face at the end of the game, and it's funny because Sauce is someone that, resonates with us as supporters because he's lived it. He's lived it his whole life. He's lived it through his dad. And even when his dad left us, he still lived it because he's always been Carlton. It runs through his blood. And looking at his eyes and looking at his body language compared to other players, and I'm not signaling out any players because they are all hurting the same way. But you could just tell that the body language of Sauce, he's hurting just as much as we are. And seeing him hurts me and hurts everyone else. But, like at the end of the day, it's just a game of football, and we've got to remember that those players are human too. And I'm praying for the love of God that, our members and supporters keep calm, especially over social media, because it can be a deadly place. And we know what happened last time, Carlton played Collingwood. Keep calm, breathe. And, I'm sure we've got, as you've mentioned before, I'm sure we've got the right off-field leaders to get us back.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I was terribly wrong about this year and today, so don't take my word for it, mate.
No, look, I've got faith in our leaders, and it might not seem like that now. I think on field we do need some leaders. We definitely do. I mean, Cripper's good at what he does, but he's not a vocal leader like a Bontempelli, and that's probably the most perfect one to compare to, because when the game is there, Bont steps up and does it for his team, and that's something I feel like we lack with Cripper, with Doc, with Weeders, even with Walshy at times, because when it comes to their skills, they will try their heart and soul. But when it comes to words and, direction, I feel like that's where we lack.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Mate, I think this is your debut on the fan cams, eh?
It definitely is. And I wanted to sort of get on before the end of the year, regardless how we went today. And just to say, man, you do an amazing job. And I think I've mentioned it to you before, you and Pommy and the rest of the boys, you guys are literally what we are. And you guys speak for the members, supporters, and I honestly feel you guys don't get enough recognition as it is. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Have a good one, Tez.
See you, mate. Kira.
Tez, I'm broken. I have not stopped crying since the final siren. I can't believe it. But, I've never felt this hurt after a game. Like that final siren, like ripped my heart out and threw it on the ground. But I can't be angry. And maybe this is the problem. Maybe this is the complacency, but the joy and the smiles, I've never felt this happy in a season before. Like I've never had this many smiles from a season. So maybe that's the complacency, and I wanted to win so bad today and I wanted to play finals, and this is absolutely a failure. There's no success in not making finals, but I can't be angry because this season has brought all the emotions, and people will say that we lost the lid too early and that we were too over the top, but that's life. You've got to live in the moment because of this moment right now, because you never know when it will be taken away. And that's why I was so broken at the final siren, because I was like, this season's just been ripped from underneath us, and we've had the best time ever riding the emotions of this year. So, and we rode them with the Blue Abroad channel and with all the shows. So thank you to you. I'm just echoing what everyone else is saying,
No,
but thank you.
I think you make an interesting point, and you're right. Like, I don't care if anyone says we got too excited too early, mate. We were so excited for every win we had this year, and rightly so after what happened last year. So
Absolutely. And you have to be excited and you can't regret being excited now because, you know, that moment was so good to live in, and we'll cherish those moments still.
Yeah.
We're not going to look back in 20 years' time and regret celebrating those moments. We'll be glad that we hugged our friends when we won in round one. Like, round one is still special. It doesn't mean the same thing because we're not making finals, but it's still special. And we still have taken a step in the right direction as long as they put their heads down and their bums up in this off season, get the best psychologists the world can get you, and come back stronger next year.
No, that's a good point. Yeah. I don't know who this psychologist is, but I'm going to start researching whoever they
I don't
are.
know either. Emma Murray. We need a stealer. I don't think she's in sport at the moment. She's taken a break from Richmond, but we need to get her because she fixed Richmond, and I think she can fix us too.
Hope so. Kira, you're a star. Look forward to seeing you in Shannon on Wednesday night.
I'm very excited. I just messaged her. I'm like, what is AFL men's? Let's move on. AFLW it is.
Love it. Good on you, Kira.
Bye all.
See ya. Yuval.
Thanks for having me back. And I know a lot of you youngsters out there, you all fucking hate me because I speak my mind and I don't go through all the stats and I don't go to every game of the year and, you know, and bloody blah, blah. But I think, you know, we were cursed. I mean, this is my opinion. There's still a cultural thing at Carlton. We're still in denial. You know, we're still living in our past. We're still extremely reactive. And that reactivity is what fucks us and will continue to fuck us until that fucking changes. And that reactivity began at the beginning of the year when we sacked Teague last year. The new president comes in, and what does he come out and say in the public? If we don't make finals, it's a failure. So we've now failed. We accept that, or don't we? We're in denial. Carlton, typical Carlton thinking. Let's accept that. It's a failure. So my question is to all these geniuses, these presidents and coaches and psychologists and the players themselves, if they listen to that shit, now what? What do we do now? Look, I think they improved maybe 5% from last year. I think we've picked up some good players. I think this is probably the first year in maybe since Silvani got all the rehashed GWS players that we've actually got some probably 200 game players in our squad. In what's his face? Hewitt. And I mean, look, Chera, I hate Chera. Maybe he's injured. Apparently he played well today. I went to...
Did you not watch it today?
He played well. The St Kilda game, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. The guy was walking around. I've got a photo that I was sending out to everyone when I was at the game. He's standing on the wing with his hands on his hips, and he was just pushed out of the way by St Kilda. And I look at those little things where the rot sets in. But there's another stat which none of you, and you know, you all do great work. We have had shit second halves of the season for a decade. I mean, I think we did okay in 2019 when we had the bullshit Teague train. But seriously, since then, it's been terrible. And we got off to a blinder. We probably had an easy draw early in the year. I honestly felt myself, if we beat Richmond first game of the year, we make the 8. We did beat Richmond, but we didn't make the 8. So next year, as a start, we beat Richmond and let the fucking next year begin, you know. Have they learnt anything from this? I mean...
Kind of got to wait and see.
Do we have mercurial players? I mean, you look at all these guys, you know, they go through, you know, I mean, Kane Corns came out and said we're a bunch of chokers, right? And he went through and he said, you know, Wiedering and Kerno and all and Cripps, you know, all these guys, you know, they're all elite. They're all elite. They're all superstars. You know, other team supporters say, well, these guys are fucking champions. But I mean, are they? I mean, are they mercurial? None of these guys go through all the big fucking games we've had. How many of these guys have stood up when we've been fucking punched and won the fucking game for us? We haven't had a player like that. Maybe Cripps did it once or twice. We haven't had a player like that since Judd, who we got because we knew he would do it. But we don't have that luxury anymore. You know what I mean? So it's, look, I think they'll learn from this. And it's like the other thing. You look at Collingwood. They went out, you know, they sacked fucking what's his face? Their coach. They got rid of Eddie Maguire. They got these no-name guys in. They went out and they got the best possible coach they could find that was out there, right? They looked meticulously at his past, that he coached VFL teams, that he was in a premiership team. They technically got the best coach you could possibly get, right? Who are we looking at? We were looking at Ross fucking Lyon. Thank God we did not go with that asshole, right? I think Voss is a good coach, and I believe that Voss is actually playing for his own legacy, you know, because he had his pants pulled down when he was coaching at Brisbane, and honestly believe, you know, Voss is coaching for something bigger. You know, he's coaching for his legacy. You know, he wants to win a premiership. I think he's on the right path. I think his game plan needs to be tightened up a bit. I mean, we've been in this position many times this year and we've fucked it, you know, and we haven't seen through the season, especially the second half, those getting out of jail things working for us. You know, we've fallen short. We've been lazy, or like you were saying, you know, decision making is bad, or they don't play with dare, you know, like Ross Lyon said the idiot himself said on Triple M, you know, you got the Collingwood plan. It works. They know how it does it. They just go through the corridor. They go through the corridor, you know, and it works, you know, but we don't have that. You know, we had 2 games this year that really showed how we can play. And those games showed us that we actually did play as a team. We did play for 4 quarters. That was the Sydney and that was the Freo. Now, the positives you take out of that is we've been cruelled by injuries, right? That's what's actually stuffed our season. There's other psychological things, but we also showed that we can fucking win with injuries, right? So that tells me these guys can fucking play, right? There's a few Dow and other losers that, you know, I think Fisher had a shit year. I think
the best year of his career. Yeah. Fisher had the best year of his career.
I don't know. I think he was overrated personally. I think I've seen him play better than that this year. I mean, he might have been a bit
which year?
Which
year was his better year?
I'd say probably his 2nd or 3rd year. I thought he was really good. You know, before he got injured. Because remember, he got injured and then he came back against West Coast, kicked 5 goals, and then he went kind of, you know, and he was injured again.
Anyway, let's move on.
All right, move on. So, look, the first thing they've got to do is beat Richmond next year and
do it all over again.
We've got a process. Look, I think the real thing is we've got to learn how to finish seasons. Like that's something that's happened again. It's happened again. And we've watched it predictably unfold. That's the most frustrating thing.
Yeah.
You know, so we can only hope that next year, you know, we win the last 10 in a row and fuck off.
Yeah.
That's all.
Good on you, mate.
I'm asking. And
Thank you.
I'm going to cry, and thanks for having me, and I'll see you next year, and I won't have a moustache. I'll have a beard, or I'll be dead, whatever. But can't the Blues.
Go Blues, mate. Thanks for being a part of it. Josh.
Man, I just got home and my little sister came up to me and gave me a big hug. So yeah, that one hurts. But you know what? I mean, as much as we were a point away from playing finals football. We were a point away of playing football in September. And look, you know what? As much as like we're all hurting at the moment, every single person that is a Carlton supporter is definitely hurting at the moment. But you know what? I've got faith that we are going to come back better from this. I don't think this is going to break them. I mean, when have we ever been in this position before? 2020, 21, or mathematical chance. They had their chance and they didn't meet the KPI. They did fail. And I feel like as much as it hurts, and we would have loved to see them play finals football, the only way they're going to learn to be successful is by failing. And I think this is just a part of the whole process, unfortunately. And yes, there's a lot of things that needs to be changed. We were all saying at the start of the year that, the final product by round 23, it's going to be incredible. But we did digress, and, I'm sure, you've got, you can review the footage and all that and see what we were doing well at the start of the year and what changed. Obviously, there's a lot of things to put into account. Injuries, I reckon I've never seen such a horrible injury list in my entire life, but I do have faith we are going to bounce back stronger than what we are. And I feel like this is only the beginning. It really hurts. Like I'm dying right now. Like yesterday I met Sticks Kernahan, Murph, and I also met Peter Dacos. But speaking of Sticks and Murph and hearing them, like specifically Sticks talking about 87 and 95 and winning finals and all that, and it's different. And it hurts. And they believed in us. They really believed in us. Hearing what they said yesterday, but I promise everyone, just don't lose faith. This is all a part of the process. It's all a part of the process. No one lose faith. All right, like we're all dying right now. There's definitely things that could have been done better. Like Charlie and Harry, they needed to be more sensible with taking time off the clock. Not playing on. One thing I think we need to do better is actually playing on at the right time. We always seem to play on at stupid moments, and when we should be playing on, we decide to just sit around and wait. But look, and yeah, we're going to get better. They'll come back stronger. I'm telling you guys right now. It's going to hurt for a while, but we will get back stronger. We're going to hopefully, we're going to start again next year, round 1 against Richmond. Let's not even worry about that, though. You got the whole off season to play out. A lot can change. And one last thing I just wanted to say to everyone is, like, I know a lot of people will say, it's just a game and it's just a sport, but don't let anyone take away, your passion for this game. Like, they just don't understand. It's just something we love. Other people don't understand it, but we'll be back next year. Everyone just keep the faith. Go Baggers.
Good on you, mate. Well said. Tori.
Hello. That was way
Hello.
too happy how I actually feel. I have no words. I don't know. I was in a state of shock when the siren went. It was counting down. I think it was a minute 40 left, and I just went, like, had mum and dad sitting next to me, and I was just like zoned out. I didn't know how to speak, breathe. My heart stopped. I think Dad's Apple Watch warned him that he was on the verge of a heart attack. One of those warnings that pop up, but I lost for words. I don't know how anyone would have been at the game. I'm happy I was home because I could cry in the corner, but it's an interesting one.
It was an intense atmosphere. There were so many people there. Such a great build up, and then from our point of view, such a silent first half. Didn't really have much to celebrate, to be honest.
Yeah, I was being Miss Positivity in our group chat, and the girls just like, Tori, shut up. Like, it's not happening. And then after halftime, there was a change, and I was like, I told you all. And then it got to that last 5 minutes. I'm like, ignore me. I'm done. My positivity is out the window, and I'm very sad. I just don't know how to feel.
Fair. I get it.
Mm.
I haven't dealt with my feelings yet. I'm just using this as a distraction.
I think I'm still in a state of shock. Like, it hasn't
Yeah.
actually hit me. Like, I'm in my head. It's just like, oh, we'll fix it next week. But there's no next week. We've passed that. So, yeah. I don't know.
Fair. Well, it's been good to cross paths, and I'm sure we'll see more of you in the future, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Good on you. Thanks,
Bye.
Tori. Webby.
Gutted. Fuck, mate. To fail. We failed, mate. 7 years. And until us, the supporters, start putting pressure on the club, we are forever going to be mediocre. We had them. 25 points up, Terry. Fuck, mate. I'm sitting in the car. I've been sitting in the car for an hour or so to get on and vent. I'm angry. I'm disappointed. I want to cry, and I don't want to go home. The final siren went. I sat in my fucking seat for 15 minutes with my head in my hands. I could not believe it. When is it going to change at this club? 20 years, Terry. Like, 7 years. I would guarantee you, if Richmond, Collingwood, or Essendon did what Carlton did, it would take them half the time. Why? Because their supporters don't accept bloody playing shit football. We accept it, mate. I'm sorry. We do. Like, we have to become ruthless as a football club. Players, sponsors, and fucking supporters. Or else we're just going to always be mediocre. We are happy just not being rubbish anymore. That's our problem. Where's our standards at this club, mate? Seriously. We're here to play finals and we're here to win flags. Like, we finished 9th and, like, we fucking knocked off Sydney. We fucking knocked off Freo. We knocked off Richmond. Like, Bulldogs as well. This is going to linger for 12 months until we actually make finals.
It's true, mate. It will.
I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm angry tonight, Terry. I'm angry tonight.
No, you should be angry. It's it's okay to be angry. Yeah. So
you know me,
yeah.
Mate. Like I'm pretty positive, but the boys and I will do the podcast tomorrow night, and we have to get on there and try and be positive. And I just can't, because that season's over. That season's over, and it shouldn't be. We were 8-2 and 10-4, mate. We're chokers. Come on, we're just chokers. Something has to change. Something has to change. They have to get somebody in. Losers breeding losers.
Mate, I appreciate you coming on and expressing that. That's nothing wrong with what you said, mate.
Sorry.
4 games left in the season to win 1, and we lost all 4 of them.
Yeah.
It's a bottle job. That's what it is. It's a bottle job.
Because this group is mentally weak, and people disagree. That's fine, but it's true. This group is mentally weak. This group from day one was told by Brendan Bolton that it's not about winning. Of course it's about winning. This is elite sport we play here. This isn't local football, mate. This is elite sport. Our standards are so low, it's not even funny.
Yeah. But we're blessed, mate. We have passionate supporters like you who care. So
thank you, Terry. Thank you for everything you do, and we'll see you in March. Fucking March, it's a long time away, bro.
Me, mate. see you in the preseason scratch matches, mate. Can't wait.
Stay safe. Love you always. See you, mate.
Get home safely, mate. See ya. Sayaf, thanks very much for the 31, mate. We're all hurting, that's for sure. Blue Bagger.
Terry, how you go, mate? So I asked the question again. I swore I wasn't going to ask it. Of course, you're not feeling well.
I'm all good,
but,
mate.
Yeah, hard game to take, mate. You know, after the season offered so much. 8-2. You know, everyone, as well as me, was on top of the world. You know, and we're even talking about premierships. But I think we did get a bit carried away with it all. You know, a lot of games that the Bulldog game, Port Adelaide game, and whatever, we got a bit carried away. But I can tell you the difference between teams like Collingwood and us, Pemblebury, Moore, Adams, and the thing is though, they've played. Pemblebury and I'd say Moore have played in 3 grand finals in the last 12 years. 2 in 2010. Basically it's the same experience as playing two games, and then 2018. Our guys, have played 2 games of such importance. Melbourne last week, Collingwood this week. Where they've actually challenged. All right, they played in Adelaide and whatever, but that's a big difference compared to playing Melbourne and Collingwood.
Is it just a matter of just continuing to push the bill and just keep getting here until we fall over the line, or do you think there needs to be some intervention with something else?
Well, I believe we have 2 choices. We either keep going with the way we're going and just learn slowly by day, and it takes 3 or 4 years that happens, or, you get, like people have been saying, you get some experience in that can handle those moments that give the other guys like Cripps and Walsh, the experience. That's why Dacos is so good, because he's been playing in these games where they've won after the siren and whatever, and he's learned, well, I've played a big part in that. I can do it. And that's why Collingwood's going to be up there for the next 10 years, because even when Pemblebury and Moore retire, they're going to have these young guys coming through with all the experience. So they've just replaced the guys that they're losing. And that's just part of our journey.
Mm.
And hoping that, guys like Cripps and Walsh, Doherty, Fisher, all these guys can get that slowly get that experience and teach the new guys coming in. Even your Motlops and that now, and 6 months, or what is it? Yeah, 6 months till March. It's a long time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a hard time.
It's going to be a long preseason, mate. Hope you're ready for it.
It is. And I believe the guys have got to trust each other. You'll see it a lot of the times, even especially in the back line. I believe the back line's improved so much this year. But you'll get 3 guys going up for the ball to punch it. And you got, the opposition just sitting behind the pack, waiting for the ball, grabbing it and kicking the goal. Can I just ask one question of everyone? What happens if Adams had to miss that goal? how would have these fan cams gone? So instead of we won by a point, we lost by a point, we won by 4 points. Are we going to hang a season on that split second?
I think we're hanging the season off the last 4 weeks, from what I'm kind of hearing.
Yeah,
You know?
I can. Yeah, and it has. And basically, as I said to Pommy in the Adelaide game, we shat the bed. We shat the bed big time, mate. You know, and you know, they talk about getting a psychologist in. Yeah, they probably need to. It is all mindset, but geez, it'd have to be a hell of a psychologist.
I know. But,
But,
nah, it's a good point. Yeah.
But even like with Pommy's kind of spoken about a bit of his journey, you know, the last couple of months. You know, and I'm going through the same sort of journey at the moment, you know, and that journey didn't change in a day, didn't change in months, didn't change in years. You know, many times he would have slipped up, you know, and then restarted, and then slipped up and restarted. And, you know, I think, you know, as hard as it is, we got to give the boys that chance.
Yeah. Good on you, mate. Thanks for joining.
Too easy, Tezza. Have a good one, mate.
Good, mate. Beachy, what's going on?
I think you, excuse me. I think you've got a rough idea of what's going on, mate.
Yeah, I've got a rough idea.
I sat at my seat for about 10 minutes, maybe more. I wasn't keeping track because I was that hurt. I was that broken. It was like I experienced last week all over again. This time, to use a Simpsons reference, it was like your crush had just taken the heart out from inside of you, put it in her hand, kicked it into the bin. That's exactly what it felt like. I thought last week was bad enough, but this just topped it. And, you know, to lose the last 4 when we only needed to win 1, I think that's probably what hurts the most of all.
Absolutely. It's maybe now's not the time. Like I said before, maybe now's not the time to really reflect because it's so hard to think clearly given how devastated we are. But in the moment right now, you're thinking such a promising start, such a terrible finish. Is it really just injuries? Is that really what it was? You know, so who knows, mate? Who knows?
I mean,
it's tough.
Yeah, absolutely, it's tough. I mean, you know, you had 88,000 supporters, which, you know, is no knock on the crowd considering the rivalry of what we have with this club, with them. But, you know, most of us were baying for blood against this club because we've had enough of them being up and about. We've had enough of them shoving it in our face. You know, we've had enough of it just having it go. We've had enough of it going to shreds. We've had enough of it just going wrong. Yeah, Terry, plenty of people I've heard already have tried to slate the club for their actions. I'm not going to join that list because there's just no point. You're just wasting your breath with that. That said, we've finished 9th. We've gone from 13th. You could say that's an improvement. Did we want to make finals? Yes. Did we get there? No. I might as well just get the cricket white out ready and get that ready to go because that's what's going to take over my summer once it's happening. And of course, with the girls starting next week, that'll be a bit of fun for everybody.
Yeah. Good on you, Beachy. Thanks for joining, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thanks again.
Pat.
Terry, mate. It's a tough one.
Very tough.
Very
tough.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel. I've never really been in a position where you sort of realise you're not playing on next week. Like after the Melbourne game last week, it was like, all right, we'll go next week. And after the week before that, it was like that. And yeah, there's no next week. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, there's a harsh reality to it, hey?
Yeah. I mean, look, I think you say all you want about a good or a bad year. I think as long as the club what I want is the club to look at just the energy and the passion the fans brought this year and just feed off that going into next year. Like, this is the most amount of games I went to as a fan because I wanted to be there, felt like we were going to win. I just hope the club looks at that and goes, imagine what this would be like when we're winning a few more games.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
I wonder if all you can really hope for is just to improve.
Exactly,
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're that far away from being a team that can just put other teams to the sword and really just break them. Like, I think we're only a few steps away, just a good pre-season. I think that's really all we're there for. And yeah, I think we're close.
Yeah. I mean, look, I feel like we did improve. Would you say we underperformed? Underachieved or overachieved this year?
It's tough. I think if you look at it from the start of the year, you definitely say we underachieved. Like, we were 8-2. So I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't even know if I know right now. I think I'll go back and watch the highlights from a few wins and relive some of the best moments and think, we could have had that in September. So I think for now, I say probably slightly underachieved.
Yeah, fair.
That's what I think. Yeah,
I think that's going to be one of the themes of the off season for us. So
yeah,
see how it plays out.
We'll see. Anyways, thanks for having me on. Thanks for the year.
Mate. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Angus.
Terry, how's it going, mate?
Sorry, no, this is George.
It's all right, Terry. Thanks for having me. Oh, I just felt it was like the elimination final against Sydney, against Brisbane, and then the semi-final against West Coast. Just dying moments. And that's, I think, how I felt the heartache again, just reliving those moments. And I think it's even going into that last quarter, 4 goals up. I feel like the last 10 years has always been going into any game with a lead or into third quarter with a lead. You're just waiting for the opposition to come back and to steamroll us. And I know Collingwood have had the tendency this year to do it, but you just can't feel confident as a Carlton supporter. And I think, this year we turned the corner at Richmond. We didn't just beat them, but we actually came back and we stormed over the top of them. Port, Hawthorn, the Doggies. Yeah, we got out to big leads, but we managed to still get the win. Whereas previous years, they'd come right over us and, we'd end up with a heartbreaking loss. And, that first half of the year was, okay, we are seeing that improvement. And then it just felt after that bye, yeah, we beat Essendon, but I was at that game. We were shit in that game. And, last quarter was horrible. And I don't know what had shifted. Yeah, we had the injuries, Weeders, all that, but it just shifted. And then to go out in the last 2 weeks just like this, it's, you asking before, Terry, about, how you see this year. And I think if you don't tell a fan that we were 8-2 and you said you end up 12-10 and don't tell them where you finish, you probably think, geez, I'll take that going into the year. But then when you're given context that you were 8-2 and you finished 12-10, we had improvements, but you just can't help feel like it was a season lost and it was a failure. We had injuries, but we managed to, for whatever reason, in that first half of the year, we galvanized. We still managed to play. I felt like we played better with harder hit injuries in the first half of the year. And then the second half, and I don't know whether opposition teams found us out, but it just felt as if whether they got tired or whether we just lost momentum, but the wheels fell away. And, it's going to be another 6 months of, hoping, fingers crossed, no injuries, because we always go into preseason thinking, getting a Kerno back or getting this, getting that, and you get the shit news of injuries. And so you're hoping, all right, no injuries, but I don't think it's going to be improvement from getting new recruits. We've probably got an average draft position. So I don't think it's about bringing players in. It's just about, whether it's a psychologist or whatever, it's, getting them to believe and get better in those crunch times and improving their mental psyche. I mean, we had the first half was just shit. It was fumbling left, right, and centre. The handballs, they were just dropping, whereas Collingwood were clinical. They just looked to clean them up all throughout. And then third quarter, the tide turned. I don't know what we came out 6 goals up overall in that quarter to them. And yeah, and then we went back into our shells again. We almost came out in the last quarter trying to protect the game, which played into Collingwood's hand rather than just continue on with that momentum. I don't know. It's just we're going to be in those stages of grief, and it's just I walked out into the garage, and I was absolutely in the shit mood, and I just it's just hard after that start of the year and really wanting finals after being so long out. And you're going to we cop from the opposition supporters, and it's just another example. But it's like, when is it going to end? And I don't know, Terry. I don't know whether we cleaned out the coaches, and I don't know whether. I mean, I look at McRae, and he's got Bolton and Lepage around him. Two former senior coaches, and I think we got Hansen. We got good stocks around us, but I just felt we were still kind of one big senior head in that assistant coaching lineup short. And I don't know whether that's going to be a fix, but I don't know, Terry. It is a hard one.
Thanks for sharing, mate. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks, Terry.
Cheers. I've got 2 more, and I'm done. Angus, Mark, and then we're going to finish off. Andy, Mason, I sent a private chat. I'm sorry. We have definitely run out of time. But let's just get these ones done as quickly as we can. Angus. Can't hear you, mate. Mark.
How are you?
Good, mate. What'd you think of that?
Do you think it's normal to wear Versace sunnies in the dark while I've got the light on? I'm in mourning, man. It's like I've lost a loved one. It felt like I tried to get into another bit of a love fest, and that got broken up too, which I've been single my whole life, but that's not the point. Point is this, to think that history has happened again, the first time in our lifetime. But before we get more into the game, I'll just throw in this story.
Let's just stick to the game if we can, please, Mark.
I just want to really make this quick before I can add on to it.
Please make it
when
quick.
It all collapsed all right, well, just for the first one, you saw it with how Melbourne missed out in the finals in 17 and 20, and then look what happened. That's short form there. And the same with Carlton back in those years ago, 77, 2 years later, 79, 81, 82. You get that too, right? And everyone should know. With today, it's just been the tale of our year. It has simply been the tale of our year. To have spurts of reeking of awesomeness, to then just utter weakness in other patches of the game. I'll just say as well, everyone's really covered up all the major points, which I am going to struggle to really get through what I'm about to say, but just rehashing and whatever else I can think of would just be a bonus. But it's very simple. If you don't have a vision that you're wanting to obviously put forward, then you just might as well pack your bags and go home. Even Richmond back in 2010 with Brendan and Gale, our plan is to try and win 3 flags before 2020. You know what? You'd laugh, but you know what? They did that. Why is it that we're not coming out of our own shell to say, and by this time, we're going to try and achieve this? But anyways, that's for another matter, which we're going to have to live with in the next 6 months or 12 months till however long we get to learn this fate. The easy way, the hard way. It's definitely going to be the hard way because we've failed again. We've seriously failed again. And I'll just want to also say the credit that the work that you've obviously done to obviously keep building this channel and all the other podcasters around have obviously been nothing but sensational. You know, it's something that I would obviously like to be part of one day when I can. But I mean, at the same time, I've just been doing my own thing when I had my, I guess, break to keep entertaining myself and the people that know about my Carlton views. But the simple matter of the fact is this: if they can't say it, Carlton, and I'll say it again, like I said it last year, we're weak, feeble, until we seriously find a way to be mentally stronger in all facets. Because it's very simple. Don't accept second, because if you ain't first, you're last. And ninth feels like finishing last. People have said it. It's like worse than 2018. I don't know about that, but I get the point though. Because we were breastfed with one of the easiest fixtures going in when we hadn't played finals for 9 years. If you think of it, it's 11. Well, I mean, with the supplement saga, but anyways.
Yeah, I got you, mate.
Yeah, no, exactly. As people have said, when is this going to fucking end? And I'll tell you right now, we know nothing in life's guaranteed, but you've got to make these moments happen. I will say one thing as far as the game itself. I reckon this was a bit of a pivotal moment. Might not have been as pivotal as some, but I noticed when Lewis Young thought he had the mark in our defensive 50, and then Darcy Cameron comes in from nowhere to take it. They're just little things like that I know, even though he missed the goal, but you pinpoint each different moment across the game as far as, well, you've got to be able to make it yours. Because if you don't, each play that goes on, and each minute that goes past, can just be ripped away from you like that.
It's wise words, Mark. I appreciate you coming on and sharing, man. It's I think it's a nice way to wrap up as well.
This is going to be so hard to swallow, man.
It will.
So
It
hard
will.
to swallow.
It
Heart
will.
ripped. Love crushed.
And we'll have to deal with it, mate. That's the reality.
We keep
So,
beating.
Mark,
Our hearts can still keep beating, mate.
they do. They do. Thanks for joining, mate. Okay. That'll do it. The fucking Pies by 1 point. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, me. The Pies by 1 point. Unbelievable. Thanks to everybody that tuned in. I guess this is the last fan cams for the year. Unbelievable. Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow night, maybe. But yeah, obviously very grateful to be here doing this. Those of you that come on and express yourselves, it's great. Whether you're angry, positive, negative, it doesn't matter. That's not the point. No one's right, no one's wrong. I think we're on the right track. I'm pretty sure we're on the right track, but I don't know what today means. It's something we're just going to have to sit with for a while. So today was shit. Tomorrow will be a little less shit, and so on and so forth. So enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Thanks once again. I'll have some more clear words to summarize this maybe in the next few days. But it's all a little bit of a blur in the head. So we'll go from there. Go Blues.